Hello everyone, welcome to our IELTS reading lesson. Today we will study IELTS 17 Test 1 Passage 2, Stadiums, Past, Present and Future. This passage has 13 questions, from question 14 to 26. The question types are information location, summary completion, and 2 sets of multiple choice questions. These questions can be divided into 2 types, keyword location and logical comparison. Knowing the question types helps us read the passage more effectively and answer questions faster. The passage has 7 paragraphs, from A to G. It is an expository text about the history, present, and future of stadiums. Passage 1 to 3, Introduction to the history and early examples of stadiums, like the Arles amphitheatre in France. Passage 4 to 5, discuss the disadvantages of 20th century stadiums and modern innovative designs. Passage 6 to 7, introduce the new function of stadiums as power plants, and summarize their future value. The heat map shows that most questions are concentrated in paragraphs B, D, E, and F. Let's look at question 14. It asks you to find which paragraph mentions negative attitudes towards stadium building projects. I suggest you pause the video and try to locate it yourself first. The key idea in the question is negative attitudes. The matching word in the text is scepticism, which means doubt or a negative feeling. Scanning paragraph A, the second sentence has growing skepticism. This directly matches negative attitudes. The answer is in paragraph A. So the answer to question 14 is A. Let's look at question 15. It asks you to find the paragraph that contains specific numbers showing the environmental benefits of a stadium. The key words are figures and environmental benefits. We need to find a paragraph with numbers and green information. Scanning the text, paragraph F has specific numbers, 8,844 panels, 1.14 GWh of electricity, and 660 tons of CO2. These are exactly the figures for environmental benefits. So the answer to question 15 is F. Let's look at question 16. Find the paragraph that contains examples of the wide range of facilities available at some new stadiums. Please pause the video and try to locate it yourself first. The key words are wide range of facilities and new stadiums. We need to find a part that lists specific examples like hotels and shops. Scanning paragraph E, it clearly lists hotels, retail outlets, conference centers, restaurants, and bars, a perfect match for the question. So the answer to question 16 is E. Let's look at question 17. Find which paragraph mentions the disadvantages of stadiums built in a certain period. The key words are disadvantages and a certain period, which means the early 20th century. Paragraph D mentions stadiums in the early 20th century lost flexibility and used more energy, matching the question. So the answer to question 17 is D. Next, let's move on to the completion section for Q18-22. Let's look at question 18. The question says it was built by the Romans in 90 AD, and after the 5th century, it became something with 4 towers, and then a village. The blank is after became a and before with 4 towers. So we need a singular noun here. The phrase built by the Romans in 90 AD is our key. Let's find it in paragraph B. The original text says it became a fortress with 4 towers. The word fortress is directly given here, no need for synonym replacement. So the answer to question 18 is fortress. Let's look at question 19. The question says, with the growing interest in conservation during the 19th century, it was converted back into an arena for the staging of what? The blank is after for the staging of, so we need a noun that describes an activity. Let's go back to paragraph B. We see the sentence, it was converted back into an arena for the staging of bullfights. The original text directly gives the word bullfights, so the answer is this word. No replacement is needed. So the answer to question 19 is bullfights. Let's look at question 20, a note completion task. The statement says the Verona Arena is considered one of the world's top sites, and the blank asks what it is famous for. Analyze the blank. It follows the preposition for, so we need a noun. The statement mentions outstanding acoustics, suggesting the answer is related to sound. Locate paragraph B. Scan for words related to the Verona Arena and acoustics. We find opera at the end of the sentence. The original text says, currently considered one of the world's prime sites for opera. The word opera is directly given in the text, no need for synonym replacement. So the answer to question 20 is opera. Let's look at question 21. The statement says the site evolved like Arles and was filled with buildings. It was used as houses, a something depot, and a prison. Before the blank is a, and after it is depot, so we need a noun. The word a before the blank tells us the answer is a singular countable noun. Depot means a place for storage. So the noun should be something that can be stored. The statement mentions storage, so the answer is likely a type of item. The key phrases in the question are evolved in a similar way to Arles and progressively filled with buildings. Let's find them in paragraph C. Look, the second sentence of paragraph C has evolved in a similar way to Arles. It's a perfect match. After locating the sentence, we see variously used as houses, a ______ depot and a prison. The blank is between a and depot. In the original text, the word is salt. This word is directly given in the text, no synonym replacement is needed. So the answer to question 21 is salt. Let's look at question 22. The question says the ruins of the amphitheatre are still embedded in what and residences around the public square. Before the blank, we see shops and. So the blank needs a noun that goes together with residences. We use shops and residences as keywords and find this sentence at the end of paragraph C. The original text says embedded in the various shops and residences. Notice that the word shops is directly given in the text, no synonym replacement needed. So the answer to question 22 is shops. Next, let's move on to the multiple choice double answers section for Q23-24. Now let's look at questions 23 and 24, a multiple choice question where you need to pick 2 out of 5. The question asks, what are the disadvantages of modern stadiums compared to traditional ones? Please pause the video, read options A to E carefully, and try to select the 2 correct answers. This is a typical choose 2 out of 5 question. We need to check each option one by one. A correct option must fully match the text, while a wrong one is either not mentioned or contradicts the text. Let's analyze them one by one. Let's look at option A. They are less imaginatively designed. The text does not mention that modern stadiums lack imaginative design. This information is not in the text at all, so it is not mentioned. Eliminate A. Now option B, they are less spacious. The text says modern stadiums are usually larger, not smaller. This is the opposite of the text, so eliminate B. Next, option C, they are in less convenient locations. The text mentions that many modern stadiums are built in suburbs, which means less convenient locations. This matches the text, so C is a candidate correct answer. Now option D, they are less versatile. The text mentions that some flexibility is lost and stadiums are only used for sports, which means fewer functions. This matches the text, so D is also a candidate correct answer. Finally, option E, they are made of less durable materials. The text does not mention anything about the durability of materials used in modern stadiums. This information is not in the text, so it is not mentioned. Eliminate E. After checking each option, we have eliminated A, B, and E. Now let's confirm the first correct answer, option C, they are in less convenient locations. Now confirm the second correct answer, option D, they are less versatile. So the answers to questions 23 and 24 are C and D. Next, let's move on to the multiple choice double answers section for Q25-26. Let's look at the last 2 questions, Q25 and Q26. This is a multiple choice question where you choose 2 answers from 5. The question asks, according to the passage, what are the additional benefits of stadiums? For this type of question, our strategy is to check each option one by one. We need to go back to the text to find evidence for each option. Only those with clear support are correct. Let's look at option A, offering improved amenities for enjoying sports events. The text does mention stadiums have better facilities, but this is a basic function, not an additional community benefit. So A is incorrect. Now look at option B, bringing community life back into the city environment. Paragraph E says stadiums open up spaces to families and wider society. This clearly brings community life back. B has clear support. Next, option C, facilitating research into solar and wind energy solutions. The text mentions stadiums can install solar panels, but it doesn't say they facilitate research. This is made up, so C is out. Now option D, enabling local residents to reduce their electricity consumption. The text says stadiums can generate electricity, but it doesn't say residents use less. This is also made up, so D is out. Finally, option E, providing a suitable site for installing renewable power generators. Paragraph E clearly says stadiums are perfect for installing photovoltaic panels because of their large roof area. E has clear support. After checking each option one by one, we confirm the first correct answer is option B, bringing community life back into the city environment. The second correct answer is option E, providing a suitable site for installing renewable power generators. So the answers for Q25 and Q26 are B and E. Now let's review the key skills we used to solve these questions. Trick 1, opposite meaning or detail trap. Watch for words that mean the opposite in the passage. So the answer to question 18 is fortress. Trick 2, wrong subject or made-up information. If the question adds something not in the passage, it is wrong. So the answer to question 19 is bullfights. Trick 3, synonym replacement or main idea. The passage in question used different words to mean the same thing. So the answer to question 20 is opera. Remember, for completion questions, the answer word always appears directly in the passage. Do not make up your own words. Now let's summarize the key vocabulary and paraphrases from this lesson. Keywords: scepticism, photovoltaic, fortress, bullfight, opera, salt depot. That's all for today's lesson. We hope these skills help you get a great score in your exam.